Hi everyone. I am so excited for another of one of my Inner Beauty Leader series, video series. And today I have a very special guest. I have a funny story and how I met her. Her name is Cree Joy. And as you know, I'm a big fan of conscious fashion and style. And I have been watching the show, The House of DVF. And there was one woman in particular, which she really struck me because she stood out because she really had a clear sense of who she was. And she just really owned that and used fashion and style in a way that really expressed her presence from the inside out. So I was like, wow, there's something about her. And so I was sad to see that, like, on the show, she left. So I was like, oh, but then literally like 2 days later, I was on Facebook and I saw her post. She was posting something about the show, and I was like, oh, wow, that's odd. Coincidence. And so then my gut said, reach out to her. But my mind was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But my heart was like, just do it. What's the harm? So anyway, long story short, she was so gracious to allow me to interview her today because I really feel like she is a beautiful example of a woman who stands in her power and her inner beauty and is not afraid to express that, in her own way, even if there's no formula to follow or trends to follow. It's really just about owning who you are. So I'm really honored and I feel really blessed to interview Cree Joy today. So welcome, Cree.
Hi. Thank you, Jennifer, for having me on. And I'm really excited. This is like my first interview of someone that I've never met. And,
Oh, yay.
cool, yeah.
I am super honored. So the purpose of this Inner Beauty Leader series is I whenever I whenever I meet women, especially women who are in the beauty and fashion space, who really
hmm
instinctively know the power of what it means to tap into yourself and then own that inner beauty for yourself. I always want to like reach out to women of like mind because I feel like that message needs to be shared more and more. Because I
Right, right.
beauty is great, but I think sometimes women look at beauty as something they have to constantly keep up with, like almost like
hmm
image, right? And I
Yeah,
you feel that beauty is something that's empowering, like actually fuels you and it fuels your spirit. It doesn't have to be something that you chase, you know?
right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I mean, the show was filmed a long time ago. And it's funny because when I look back at my experience, I feel more like not full of myself, but like full of my own,
Yes.
self, and not in that egotistical way, but like full of something greater than me that I can feel, I guess, proud because, it's always weird when you film something, all the months go by and you're just like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? But I'm just happy that it resonated with you. And you know what I mean? Like, I like what you're doing as well. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Let me give Cree her a formal introduction. She is a fashion designer. She is a healer. She really looks at fashion as and art in general as a way to really tap into who you are in your spirit, which again is why I feel so like drawn to her and felt so compelled to help share her message because I just feel like it's so needed. So again, welcome, Cree. And if you'd like to share anything about like your business or your mission, just to start off, that would be cool.
Yeah, well, okay. Thank you for that awesome two introductions. And yeah, I'm really just the House of DVF really is like I'm using it as a platform to just build off of. So I have a blog. It's called the fashionintuitive.wordpress.com. And I'm sure there'll be some links somewhere I can add or, something like that. And it's a blog that I'm getting used to, doing it consistently and really kind of still developing my motto and my brand, but really what I stand by is a quote that I came up with that came to me a long time ago is that I want all women and men too, but to know that they are what is it? Just know that you're loved unconditionally and that you're free.
Yes.
So with that being loved unconditionally by yourself, you automatically free yourself. And that's just I feel like um, now I'm starting to realize the impact that me walking in that has had on people. And I'm just like, wow, maybe that's maybe that's the basis of my brand and my, like
Yes.
what, what it will be one day. So that I have my blog, that's running and going right now, but I'm also a designer. So I do a lot of illustrations for up and coming designers. So I'm a designer, but also an illustrator. So that's what you saw on the show, The House of BBF, a lot of my drawings and stuff. But I'm definitely wanting to, of course, start my own, line one day and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm just right now I'm just developing my, my brand and really what my message is. And, I think what people kind of like will know me for is like my quotes and the things that I put on like my Instagram and
Yeah.
like on Facebook. I really try to use what I have as platforms to just give as much like love and advice and wisdom as possible until I have like a product that I can, like sell or, people can buy to really be even more a part of, what will be bigger in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's to me that's the organic and to me the right way to build a brand. I've been doing branding and design for 18 years now and like
Mm-hmm.
6 on my own. And I realized that it's really about building real relationships, building
Yeah.
community first, and then
Mm-hmm.
really having that dialogue, like how can I help? Like and then sharing from a very like what you're doing, sharing from a very truthful place. Because when you do
Mm-hmm.
that, you actually represent something that people identify with in themselves, right?
Yeah, yeah. I like what you're saying because that's exactly what I believe in. I believe that like your truth resonates with other people's truth
Yes,
because at the end of the day, we're all one.
yes,
So when I'm true to myself, it's like someone else. Even like when you're true to yourself, like it activates something, I think, within everyone.
yes. Just like to me, this is a divine appointment. Like really, when I
Yeah.
saw your post on Facebook, well, first when I saw you on TV, and then I saw your post, I really
Uh-huh.
felt like my spirit was guiding me. Like, hey, there's a connection here that needs to be made. That's greater
Hmm.
than the two of you. That needs to be shared in a bigger way. So I've just learned to be able to give myself permission to listen to those divine like cues and just follow,
Yeah.
not overthink it. Because sometimes your ego's like, no, 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 don't do that.
Right, right. I'm curious why did you feel like no, like don't reach out to her? Why did you feel that
Well,
way?
I think sometimes like meeting new people, like
Mhm.
as an introvert, I'm really good at one-on-one, but meeting new people, it's like, especially online,
Mhm.
I need to feel a sense of comfort. And so that's why it was helpful for me to get to know you a little bit just via message on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then I can get a sense of your vibe, like, okay, is this going to really vibe well? And I got a good sense. So I was like, okay, I got the green light, but my ego,
Good.
no, 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 like that seems unsafe. You don't know her, you know?
Right, right.
But because so it's really not about you. It's just like me expanding my capacity to feel safe in bigger and bigger settings
I
and
love that. Yeah.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm happy you followed your heart and, contacted me because, I'm just happy you did that.
No, because to me, like when you got on the call, also I can feel your energy. I was like, oh yes, this is a yes. You know,
Yay. So wait, are you an empath as well? Do you have healing? I know this is an interview and like, but I have questions
it's
for
okay.
you.
It's okay. To me, like I said, I wanted this to feel like an organic girlfriend to girlfriend conversation. I
Okay.
recently did a test and I found out I'm a INFJ. So I'm like
Oh.
highly sensitive. Like I can feel people's vibe like all the time, but
Mm.
and I try to maintain my boundaries. I don't like allow myself to feel overcome by that. But I
Yeah.
really like I can really tune into people pretty quickly. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and we're fellow Libras. Woohoo!
Woo! Libras rule.
Okay, so thank you for sharing that introduction of yourself. So like I mentioned, I'm an introvert, and I would love to have this dialogue with you because I know that you don't consider yourself an introvert, but you were saying that you do definitely need time to go within. And so, what I've learned recently over the past few years that introversion just means you definitely need that quiet time to tune into yourself. That actually is what feeds your energy, whereas extroverts
Hmm.
really feed off other people's energy. So, and then
Hmm.
recently I heard this term very new that ambivert, which is like in the middle.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who are like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm in the middle, where they can go both ways depending on the situation. So I'd
Hmm.
love to hear your take on that.
Well, I think it's funny. I think it's interesting that you just said introverts, they regain their energy by being alone and kind of going within, and extroverts gain their energy by being. I know that I'm more, I thought that extrovert is like, oh, life of the party. Like usually I walk in and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like I'm that girl.
Yeah,
And then party's over. I'm like the one going home at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock to
yeah,
go home and like take a saltwater bath and meditate and like be all by myself. You know what I mean? Because I do crave those very, like deep within kind of experiences with myself. So it's funny, like I think I might, I don't know, because I don't, it's almost like it's too much when I'm around people. And I think it's over time I've gotten more and more sensitive, more and more, I've become more and more of an empath. So I don't know what I am now because it's like, I feel like I'm becoming more of like an inner person, but I'm still able to be out and like, bring people in as well. So
I hear you. And
yeah.
to me, it's not really about the label because some people are like, well, I don't know if I call myself anything. It's like, but what I realized, I never really identified myself as introvert until the past like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I started to do that is because I recognized like, oh, I didn't even know like that's what introversion meant. I just thought
Yeah.
growing up, because when I was growing up, because I was so quiet and reserved, I was bullied. So I thought
Mm-hmm.
introversion meant like it was a bad thing, right? It was something I had to get over. But I realized
Yeah.
now, being older, it's like no, that's actually a strength because you're able to go within. You're able to feel other people's energy. You're able
Yeah.
to be on the surface, and you're able to like be alone because a lot of people are terrified to be alone. And I feel like
Yeah.
the greatest gift you can give yourself is that sense of
Yeah.
you're alone. You
It's
know,
like the presence of yourself. You value that over everything. And that is self-love. That's the key.
everything. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciate you sharing because to me, it's not like I said, it's not about the label. It's just raising like awareness of what you need to feel your own energy. Because everyone,
Yeah. I
yeah,
think it's something different for everyone. And it's like also I think it's like a wave. I feel like things change over time. Like you might be more, I'm sure I was more extroverted when I was like 5, 6, 7 and
yeah,
maybe became more because I was also bullied as well in middle school,
yeah,
which I think was a blessing in disguise because if I wasn't bullied, I wouldn't have been able to go so deeply within to look at things and heal the things and see things about myself. So it's almost like maybe that gave me the gift of the introvertedness that,
oh, yes.
now I'm kind of like maybe an ambivert where I'm both, or maybe I'll become more introverted or, yeah.
It's just, I think I agree. It's just about raising your own awareness so you can take greater care of yourself and you can
Yeah.
understand other people better. Because I agree with you. Like it was always those greatest challenges in my life that gave me the grace to rise and become more of who I am. It's
Yeah.
always those difficult moments you're like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? But somehow you do. And that it gives you, for me at least, it gave me the compassion of, okay, now I understand when I see other people in that similar situation. Now I understand, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I've gotten, the level of compassion that I'm able to have for people, it's, I think probably has a lot to do with more of me being really in touch with my feelings. So it's all a gift, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good segue to our next question, which
Okay.
what is your definition of inner beauty? Because I do feel like that capacity to go within is
Mm.
that is really the greatest gift you can give yourself.
So inner beauty to me is staying true to what God did on purpose.
Yes.
So what that means to me is staying true to yourself. I think there's nothing more beautiful than someone who can, regardless of whatever, like just whatever is going on, can acknowledge the God or goddess within. That is inner beauty because that is the most beautiful part of you and that is the vastest part of you. So I feel like that is what I think is the most beautiful about. And also I don't think animals necessarily have this ability to acknowledge that within themselves. So someone that can acknowledge that same beauty within animals and like things that, or children, you know what I mean? Like that's also, like that's something I would, and that's something that I have like, that's a newer thing that just came to me. I know you sent me these questions a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, but it's like that's something that actually just came to me because I feel like I'm always learning and growing and just being around people. And, you know, I feel like I'm always looking for the beauty in people. And I think that is the thing that always excites me. And that's always attractive when someone is like, this is who I am. You respect that, you like acknowledging their own like goddess or God within them. I think that is the most beautiful.
I agree. I feel like when you can tap into that for yourself, then you give yourself permission to just be free,
Mm-hmm.
be yourself, and then that's really how you become magnetic. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
because I found that because I'm an introvert, like style and just owning that presence within myself, that's when I know I can step into a room and then be like, okay, I'm feeling
Yep.
it, right? But I don't have
Yep.
to be like, hey guys, I've arrived. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just here. You can just feel my vibe, right?
Yeah.
I think that to me, when I see women, especially older women, like
Hmm.
Diane Van Furstenberg, to me, she really embodies that grace, right?
Yeah, she
She
does.
didn't need to do any sort of plastic surgery,
Right.
age
Right.
gracefully, and the way she carries herself is so like
Hmm.
effortless.
Yeah.
Just like her brand, there's an effortless, there's an ease.
It's yeah, there's this sexiness to just like being yourself and being, but the thing is that her brand is her. But that effortlessly being yourself is going to look different than Diane's.
Yes,
And I think that's where people like with myself, I was like, wait a minute, I can be effortlessly Cree and other girls can be effortlessly themselves. It's like, it's a very special someone that's going to be able to kind of match someone else's.
yes,
You know what I mean? So I think that's key is that women need to know that it's not all one thing. It can be effortlessly anything. I mean, if you have tattoos and spiky hair, like if that's you, then it's like effortlessly. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tuning into what feels true to you, and then
Yeah.
it'll feel easy and organic and natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, that was a good one. Okay, so how do you think beauty is portrayed in the media, in the beauty and fashion industry, like in general?
Beauty, like in the media and in fashion,
Yeah,
like,
whatever
well,
we'd like
I
to.
think I think that beauty in the fashion industry, um, oh, I think how am I going to answer this and kind of still be a little politically correct?
Oh, I want you to be
I
honest, like for real, like
yeah, well, I think that fashion in the media sets the tone. It sets the tone for what you'll probably buy, what you'll probably think about yourself when you look in the mirror, what you will want to look like, what you will think you're supposed to look like. So I think fashion and the media have so much power
yeah,
and have so much influence on everyone at every age. I think honestly, the mind is a sponge at every age,
yeah,
beyond the ages they say. I think that we're all being influenced all the time. And I think there's a lot of power in that. I guess what I wish there was more of was more, um, I guess, a more truthful representation of what beauty is, like what we were just talking about, like inner beauty kind of like exuding and then becoming the outer beauty. You know what I mean? I do think sometimes beauty. I'm sorry. Remind me of the question again because I might go on a tangent in a
oh,
minute.
that's okay.
Like
Well,
I
actually,
feel like.
you're actually moving into the next question too, because
Oh, okay.
I ask you how with you and your brand, like how do you really want to make a difference? So if you'd like to talk about, because I agree with you, the beauty and fashion industry, there's nothing, I'm not like here to criticize or anything like that, but I do
Mhm.
feel like it is time that new examples of beauty are shown, and
Right.
new ways of expressing beauty and understanding the power of inner beauty, and not just about
Right.
like trends are great as a form of inspiration, but that doesn't
Mhm.
dictate like what
Right.
you are,
Right.
right?
Right. And also, it's no secret that the fashion industry does promote a certain kind of beauty over another kind. I mean, we all know, like, I was right there in the industry. Like, it's very evident and it's very real. And I think we're coming into more of a time where we're going to start relating with people on a heart basis.
Yes.
And I think slowly, it always happens. Things always get to the top much slower than things will get to our level. So I feel like they'll start to see, wow, everyone should be celebrated. Everyone should be promoted the same way. Everyone should be given a chance to be considered beautiful, and also be considered beautiful in an international, you know what I mean, like way, or I can't think of the word, but just, we should all have that opportunity to be as big and successful and beautiful and celebrated as the other. And I'll just keep it as that. Because, it's also like, I think also fashion and the media represents almost like a bigger body. When you are about to change something, and like you'll do everything in your power to fight to change your mind, your ego will come up, you're about to turn into something different. But maybe that's happening. Like, maybe that change is going to happen, and we will start seeing beauty represented in different ways. And it's like, this time right now is kind of like the rebellion, like that. Let's just keep it the same until the wall breaks through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I feel you. I really feel like that's part of the reason why you were on that show at this time, because you really
yeah,
represented this growing, to me, it's this movement of women, especially younger women, who are really longing for an example of someone who is not afraid to be like, you know what, I'm not on trend, okay, but you know what, I'm feeling myself, okay.
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
my own trend.
yeah,
I'm proud of who I am. You know what I mean?
yeah.
For example, I saw your video. You did a YouTube video about not being afraid.
Oh yeah.
Like, I watched it and I was like, I got goosebumps. So I was like,
Oh.
yeah. So I feel like there's that message of being unapologetic of who you
Mm,
are. That, to me, I'm getting goosebumps now. That, to me, is what I feel like women need more of, that message.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for watching that video.
You're
You
welcome.
always get afraid. I always get afraid, when you make a video or something that like no one's gonna see it, and it's like, it's putting yourself out there is always hard. It's always difficult.
Yeah. Well, I know, because sometimes the internet feels like you post something and it goes into this big black hole, this vacuum. You're like, I don't know who's going to see it or whatever. But what I've learned is, even though, let's say, you may not get like certain amount of comments that you want or visibility that you want, people are still watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People may not engage with you, but people are paying attention to you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it's kind of scary, because it's like, I know I was on a show, but it's hard because I'm not. I just walk and I go to the store and I come home and I I get on the bus and I got, I'm. It's still strange, like people paying attention, even though somewhere I asked for this. Obviously, it's manifested, but
Yeah.
it's still like, strange.
But
But it's enjoyable, because it's like, you want people to listen and you want to inspire, and so
I think it's also refreshing, because here's you who was on a TV show, and I think our culture is kind of like obsessed with celebrity, right? And some people think, oh my God, she's on TV, she's like up here. But to me, like, what you're showing is like you're a real person. You know what I mean? You are a real person. You
yeah,
do regular things, but you believe in yourself, and you're wanting to share a message that's greater than you, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So to me, I think it's
Am I
neat.
breaking up?
Am I breaking? Hear
Am
you?
I
Can you hear me?
breaking up?
No.
No, well, I mean, no, I can hear you. It's just that I just wanted to make sure. I saw you moving around. I didn't want to make sure I wasn't
Oh no,
like
I'm good.
breaking up. Okay,
I'm good.
okay.
I'll let you know. Okay, cool. So our next question is, okay. So what are some lessons you learned by being on the House of DBF?
Oh my goodness, so many. Oh, okay. First one, very important. Lead. I have to lead with my heart open, but I have to keep my third eye open. Now that's important for me because I am intuitive and I do have these healing abilities and I soak up energy of people. And, you saw me on the show, like it was kind of made of a joke, but these were real things that I could do. Um, and when you're put in a situation where, you have cameras and things are going to be edited and, things are going to be kind of, you just have to be sure with everything that you do and with everything that I do, I have to make sure that I'm using my gift always, basically. That's one main lesson is that I can't downplay my abilities. I can't downplay my gifts. If I'm not going to downplay my style and my sense of self and my personality, I also can't downplay, because my intuition and all that stuff is what got me there. I needed to, I mean, you have no idea how unrealistic the getting on the show, like it was the most, that's probably another thing we'll talk about later. But all of the stuff that the intuition and the psychic abilities got me there. So I had to keep on using that stuff to maneuver, but of course with pure intentions. I mean, you don't see that, oh, this person's going to do this person. So it's not in a manipulative way. It's in a way that I'm supposed to be, you know what I mean? It's almost like it's a part of me.
Yeah.
So that's a big lesson that I learned. Another thing is sometimes less is more. That's something that, now this doesn't go against my style and me being eccentric in my way, but Diane, when I say less is more, there was many meetings we had with Stephanie Greenfield, her, I think it's the brand director or something like that, where, we studied the brand and there's a lot of stuff they didn't show, of course, but the way that Diane has built such an empire is that she has 3 words that her whole entire brand circles around, and that's effortless, sexy, and on the go. And if it's not that, then it's not the brand. So I can still be eccentric and creative and out there, but I still need a simple kind of, like, the DNA of what it is needs to be simple so that it can go, you know what I mean? It can't be everything. It can be, but it has to be, I don't know, like it has to be simplified. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, totally. Because
So
that's,
that,
go ahead.
yeah, yeah, that's another lesson I feel like, that was really important. So the keeping your third eye open, but leading with the heart always. The less is more, and even as a designer, I kind of came back from the experience, and you know I I definitely took that advice with designing my own stuff so that it could just, I feel like I can digest it better and also see it instead of wanting to be everything and putting it on a paper. Because the thing is that not everyone's going to be like me all the time. It's, you have to be able to package yourself in a way, especially if you don't already have the empire that is like still able to be taken in by like the masses, like you still want to be able to be understood,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. So those are probably the most important. I mean, there's so many, but those are the ones that stick out to me. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll. Yeah.
I think like what you're saying about like those 3 words, that's how I always, when I chat with my clients and students, it's about like getting down to the essence of who you are
Mhm.
and what you represent.
Yeah.
Right? For then you can organically build from there. But if you're not clear on what that essence is, even if you don't have a business, like you being clear on like what your vibe is about, what is your energy about,
Yeah.
and then yeah, you're right. Then things just become easier because you're building on something that feels clear, right?
Right. Right. And it's something that you say it is, not something that someone else says you should be.
Yeah.
It's anyone can brand themselves in 3 words and make a $1 billion empire, I think, because that's the key. Those are the keys to, you have to have a little simplicity. You have to have some focus. You have to have something that you can, you know,
And I'll say, a lot of people underestimate simplicity, like, oh, simplicity is boring. But no, actually, it's finding that fine line where it's like simple And it's
Mhm.
like you find a simple and elegant solution where it's just that fine line where it's just enough to communicate. To me, that is like genius, because then it's easy to add a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff. It's totally easy. You just keep adding and keep adding. But to find that like
Right.
that point where it's just like this is essential. Everything here, nothing can be taken away and nothing needs to be added. This is it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that can be hard for some people. I mean, definitely my younger self, and I'm 22, so my younger self was like 12. But I, my younger self, I wanted to be everything. And I was like, well, why can't it all be this? And I can't. But that's what Diane taught me, being there, that experience. It's like sometimes less is more, simplicity, like take off one thing before you leave the house. Even if you could still be yourself and eccentric, but it's like there's certain things like I just feel like a little bit goes a long way sometimes. Yeah.
Awesome. Those are great, great, powerful lessons. So thank you for sharing that with our audience today. Okay, so let's see. What advice do you have to help women feel beautiful and empowered from the inside out? It's like I'm sure there's going to be a lot of women who really resonate with you and your message. So, what are like some things that they can take away to help them feel confident? From a
Um, so things I would say to women to help them feel good about themselves and like empowered, and because you're kind of breaking up a little.
oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, it's just that sometimes, so you said which advice I would give women to.
Yes. Like to help them feel beautiful, like from the inside out. What are some like maybe one or two pieces of advice you can give them so they can really, learn to feel beautiful like today within themselves?
Okay. Well, today I would say everything starts with a feeling. So, and that's simple, but that can go a long way. So, we all want, let's just be real. We all want a lot of money. We all want love from the outside. We all want things. We do. We want materialistic things. And I know we want more than that, but I'm just talking about like that right now. We do want to be liked. We want things as human beings. And I think the missing key for a lot of people, um, the key to getting that, or the key to just feeling good before that comes, is the feeling inside. So, like I would say today, practice feeling like you would feel if you literally met your soulmate, or like feel how it would feel to like get a call from like this person who's looking for you to run their company, like get into the feeling, and even more simple things, because that's kind of up there and out there. And I would say like get into the feeling of just gratitude, like really your feelings are magic. Everyone says it's in your thoughts and visualize, but people want you to visualize so that you can get into the feeling.
I agree.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about a vision board. It's not about seeing it, because you can have your heart closed and your third eye open. You know what I mean? You can see what you want and not feel it and never get it.
Yes.
The key is to feel it. So whatever you can do today, get into the feeling of more of the things that it is you want to attract and that you want. And not to say that, everyone was, because I didn't mean to say like everyone wants materialistic things, but just that's something that I feel like is a common thing, people want or are looking for. So,
Yeah.
and if that's not something that you want or you're looking for, feelings still go a long way. And also, the end result is not always to get it, but just so that you can realize for what you were looking for the whole time.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's the thing I would say for someone who wants to feel better. Is you have to really truly feel it and believe it.
Yeah, feelings. I agree with you. Feelings are magic, like you said, because
Yeah.
even if you don't understand how you're going to get to like from point A to point B for your goal, well, what would it feel like if you're over there? What would it feel like to even be confident? Like, uh, what's been helpful for me?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to feel more free. Let's say, for example. Well, I don't know really how to
Yeah.
logically, but I set the intention. Okay, I want to feel more free. Like God showed me for my thoughts and help me feel more free. And just
Right.
even surrendering to that, knowing that you're a part of something greater, and then just seeing where things happen and grow, then you allow your
Mm-hmm.
flow more with life and not like trying to figure things out all the time.
Right. Right. And also, you can never get anywhere with your mind. You have to feel where things are. You have to feel where there's a space for you. That's like the key to following bliss is you have to feel what makes you come alive. It's not
Yeah,
thinking. It's not, oh, I think this is what I like. Well, this is what I liked 5 years ago, so I'm going to,
yeah,
the mind is full of memories and stories. You have to ascend to a more feeling place, I feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why I resonate with you is because you have that intuitive sense, but you also appreciate fashion and style. And for me, like style has always been my own like sacred practice of literally like has been
Mm-hmm.
my way of tuning in and seeing, exploring deeper parts of myself because I never know what I'm gonna like until I see it. I'm like, oh, I love that. I don't know why. And
Mm-hmm.
then I reflect on it and see like, okay, well, I'm trying to express more of this bold side or whatever it is. But just giving myself
Yeah.
permission to be free to go, okay, I'm just gonna see what I love, what I'm really drawn to, and then that I know now
Yeah.
my spirit's way, my soul's way of communicating with me and saying, "Hey, we're gonna go this way now. You need. We're gonna express
Yeah. Yeah.
yourself." That to me is really empowering, and I feel
Yes.
like our society, especially for young women, to know that when you dress yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that's an opportunity for you to like. That's sacred. That's sacred time. Okay, that's
You're
not.
choosing.
Yeah,
If
you're
if
choosing.
you really think about it, I mean, if you really, really think about it, I mean, fashion is spiritual. It is the most sacred thing because you literally are you have on no clothes in the morning and then you choose how you're going to present yourself in the world. Like it's not all about the glam and the trends. It's almost about, wow, where is it coming from inside of me to pick this red shirt? What am I feeling? I wish people would really go deeper within because even that is an intuitive, that's you being intuitively guided.
Yes,
It is a very sacred thing. And also, I think with that, a lot of fear rises with it because it's like, oh, well, if I pick this red shirt, then so and so is going to say this.
yeah.
But it's almost like you instantly are in your power when you choose what you wear.
I agree. I agree because when you put
Yeah.
something on, you feel it, and also when you put something on, you're not feeling. You're like
Yeah.
not me, but you're giving yourself permission to
Right.
choose. It's almost like something's activated in you. Like when I put this top,
Yeah.
I was thinking about what am I going to wear this for this interview. I was like, well, I'm feeling this top. Let me show you. Look, it's like this.
Yeah. Ah.
Wear like really really tight things, but I was like, I don't know, but I'm feeling this. So
Yeah.
represents more of this sort of like unapologetic, more this fierce side, this
Yeah.
right? And so I said, I'm gonna wear this. I don't know why. I'm gonna put some hot pink lipstick. Here we go. I'm feeling it. Yeah.
I love it, girl.
I just want to encourage women of all ages, like you looking at dressing yourself, adorning yourself, that is sacred for you. And then no
Mm-hmm.
matter what other people are gonna say, or to get more attention than you, that's okay because it's really for you. This process is for
Right.
you.
Right. I think that, people don't realize their power. And I think that's what shocks people from me taking myself out of the competition because that to me was probably well, I think I'd used my power before, but that was one of the times I'd used my power in a way that it could have gone anyway. It could have gone real, real bad, or it could go so many ways.
Yeah,
But you have to, as women, you need to be able and willing to take those risks because when you step in your power and you walk or you stay or you get married or you don't or you get the dog or whatever your choice is, you're utilizing, your true power.
absolutely. And whether that be through beauty
Yeah.
or just speaking up or whatever, it's about giving yourself permission to express. So I feel like that's ultimately why we're here.
Yeah.
The more that you're true to yourself and you express yourself freely, then you actually
Mm-hmm.
inspire other people to do that.
Right,
That's why
right. And also just know sorry, what?
I said that's ultimately why we're here, right? To be able to express ourselves and then to serve
Yeah.
a place, right?
Yeah. And I think The one thing in the fashion industry that you'll see is that you'll see women that look like they're utilizing their power. You'll see women that look like they're walking the walk, and they are. But then it comes with this kind of bitchiness. It comes with this, and this
Yes.
isn't everyone, it comes with this like guard, and it's like, wait, 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 wait. When you step into your power, you're stepping into God, source, the truth, which is love.
Yes.
So you obviously aren't, what are you stepping into that's making you feel like you need to protect yourself?
Yes.
And with that protection is the bitchiness and the anger, and which is, we all know fashion industries. If anyone's seen The Devil Wears Prada,
Yeah.
it's real. It can be like that. So, you have to be very, use your intuition. Like, are you stepping into your power and feeling liberated and wanting to empower other people, or are you stepping into your power and feeling guarded and aggressive? And if you're feeling guarded and aggressive, look into that, because you're not coming from a place of love, you're coming from a place of fear.
I agree. Oh my God, we could talk for hours about this topic. I love this topic because, like, as I've been growing into more of my own sense of self worth and power, I was thinking, well, what does power really represent for me? And I was like, well, when I look at women who are powerful, you're right. I see a lot of examples of women who are almost extreme on that masculine side, right? I got to be
Oh
hard.
yeah.
I got to be, like you said, bitchy. I got to be like, I got to have
Right.
a ball. You can't screw with me, right? But then
Right.
when I realized, like, the type of woman and leader I want to be is like having a sense of grace. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
be assertive, but there's still, like, being soft is not a weakness. You can be
It's
soft
not.
and fierce. I think you can
Right.
be both, and I think sometimes women assume, oh, if I need to be quote unquote successful, powerful, I have to be hard, and I
Right.
tried that way many years, okay, and I
Mm-hmm.
got myself sick. I mean, really, and
Mm.
it was really, that was a turning point in my life when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and then I was just like, oh, I got to change. Or else this is gonna get.
Wow.
And so that was really when I really hit my rock bottom. I even lost my job. And so that was when I said, okay, I can either continue to feel victimized by my circumstance, or I can really go within and see, like, take ownership and responsibility over my life and find the grace in the situation. So now,
Yeah.
that was the harder route, because I could have totally
Yeah.
been like, screw everybody.
Right.
But
Right.
I was like, no, I really wanted to find the grace within that moment. And so I did. And so now I feel that I'm more of that type of woman and that type of leader that has compassion, that has love, that has
Right.
the ability to feel, to include rather than exclude,
Yeah.
attract people in a way that feels organic and natural, not like forced.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, you're right. Ultimately, it's about coming from a place of love versus fear.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are even afraid to do that. People are afraid to come from a place of love because they just are so far removed. Well, they're not far removed, but they're just, it's almost like you've been alienated by it. You don't even, it doesn't even feel natural anymore. But one thing that you said that I have to write down, because it gave me a something, is that it is not a weakness to be soft. I think when you're soft, you can receive.
Yes.
And when you're soft, you can receive those inklings, and you can receive those intuitive ideas and the creativity. And when you're soft, I mean, think about it as like a wave.
Yes.
Really, would you call the ocean weak? It's like,
Yes.
would
That's
you
a good
call that?
analogy.
Yeah. Like, would you call that weak? I wish people would start to, and also not, also, I wish people would stop putting masculinity with the negative, with the aggression in the negative sense, because also I've learned masculine is divine love in itself. It's just a more assertive,
Yes.
protective love, but it is not, mean and aggressive. That's just something that's blocked energy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Coming from a place of lack and ego and fear, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I love that you're saying that, because as women, that's how we're naturally built, to receive.
Mhm.
I think sometimes, I don't know, in our culture, they assume, oh, somehow being female is like weak. And it's like, actually, no, because
Yeah.
when you have power and you have compassion, when you can be fierce and you can be vulnerable,
Mm.
that is straight up power right there. You know,
Yes, I love that. I love that. When you can have, what did you say? When you can have what and then have compassion,
when you can be fierce and be
still
vulnerable.
be vulnerable. Yeah, like that is so beautiful what you just said because that's going to resonate with so many people because we are so hardwired to not value our softness and our vulnerability and like those are the keys. Those are the keys to everything.
Everything. I'll tell you this is my personal testimony. How
Okay.
I've been able to be in this place, like spiritually, emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
physically, uh, to be able to what like notice my inner dialogue within myself, to be gentle, to be kind, to be loving to myself, because I can do that for other people. That's no problem,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And the way I grew up, I like I said, I was bullied, so the dialogue always was just this harshness, this criticism, and that fear is what motivated me, right? So I that dialogue I took within me, like okay, that's really I push myself constantly. So now
Mm-hmm.
to be in a place where I'm like, okay, I still hear those voices, right?
Yeah.
Part of like being human, but then
Mm-hmm.
to make the conscious choice, saying, okay, thank you, ego, I appreciate you trying to protect me, but I'm gonna be driving this bus, okay? And
Mm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna allow myself to be kind, to be nice, to be patient, to be loving with myself. Okay, I deserve
Nice.
that. And
That's
so when you change that dialogue, that changes everything, everything.
that is so I don't even know you like that, but I'm proud of you. That is such Do you know how long it takes people to get to that place of compassion for the self and it not be backed up with abusive thoughts and self-hatred and like that's beautiful because with you sharing that with me, that it's almost like ripples of that frequency. It touches me, and then I'll take away something, and then
Oh,
I'll touch someone else, and it's like that. That's so beautiful. I really appreciate that.
oh, well, thank you for receiving that. I honestly, I'm naturally very private, but what
Mm,
compels me to like reach out to like you and just put myself out there, even if
yeah.
it's not comfortable for me, is because I
Mm,
feel like my journey is a part of my calling. Like the more I can speak up and just share honestly, then people can relate and they go, oh, okay, because people would make assumptions about me. They'll assume like, oh, okay, yeah, she doesn't have any problems. She's cute
mm-hmm.
or she's quiet or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? And then
Right.
I tell them like, no, I had some real shit go down, and I found the grace in it, and this is really what happened. And then they actually
Yeah.
interact with me and like, oh my god, she's nice. I heard growing up like, oh, she must be a bitch, blah blah blah, because I was quiet, right, and I wouldn't be like, hey, I would just be really
Yeah.
made assumptions. So all of these crazy things. So now when I actually break that down and say, no, I'm actually a real person, I'm
Mm-hmm.
imperfect, but I'm now honoring the imperfections as because that's what makes
Right.
it real, right? I'm not plastic,
Right.
you know?
Right. And also, not judging the things that you judge as imperfections, like what makes, my whatever, like whatever I would say is imperfect about me imperfect. That comes from me being bullied, me being taught that it wasn't right. I mean, I I I am perfect and complete. One of my therapists when I was in high school told me all the time, and it just now has sunk into my brain. And I graduated in 2012. You are whole, perfect, and complete for all that you are and all that you aren't. That's just it. And I rejected it for years. I was just like, no, like I am not acceptable as I am. I am not perfect as I am. I am not whole as I am. But that couldn't be more true. Like there's nothing imperfect about me. And there's also because even perfection, that word is limiting. So
Yes,
it's like to turn it into something like forget perfect and imperfect. I'm just whole. I'm just complete.
yes,
I am me, and that's something that you want to. That's what you want to identify with.
yeah. You're not lacking anything, and anything when
No.
you're exploring, you're just really remembering more of who you are, right? You're already complete.
Yeah.
So that's something I'd like to share with our audience today. Is like remembering that you are already complete.
Right.
Even if you don't feel confident right now, literally, like this is what I do when I am feel stuck and I don't know how to like move forward. I just set the intention like, okay, I just want to feel more loving because honestly, I didn't know how to be more loving and more patient and kind to myself. It was a good friend
Mm-hmm.
of mine who she really embodies that spirit, and she came into my life just at the perfect time. And I was just like, God, every day whenever I talk with her, I'm like, I feel so grateful that she's my friend because she really embodies that godlike, unconditionally loving spirit. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I do to deserve a friend like you? But she,
Yeah.
because you're like that, like you literally attracted me, and I was just like, wow,
Yeah.
so then giving myself acknowledgement like, oh, okay, I'm attracting people who are like me, right?
Yeah.
You can set
Yeah.
that intention and then notice that things will change for you, but just be clear about what you want to change and then allow life to help you.
Right, right. And it's so, I mean, people aren't probably going to receive this. Hope maybe they will. I will say this, your audience is progressed and they are conscious and they, they're open. So it is easy. It is easy when you make the decision to be yourself, to love yourself. Life does nothing but want you to be yourself and love you back. It
Yes,
just, life reflects and treats you like you are treating your life on the inside. How
yes,
you're treating this life that's inside of you is the way life is treating you. So it's like, yeah, somewhere you were treating yourself in that loving way for you to attract a friend like that, even when you felt like you weren't. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I feel grateful. I feel grateful I attracted you. We attracted each other.
Yeah.
I really, my gut is telling me that this interview is really going to help a lot of women who just need to hear this message that, okay, I don't have to try to be something I'm not, just so I can feel some sense of wholeness.
Right.
You're already whole. So just
Right.
give yourself permission to know that you're already whole and then allow life to help you.
Right. And you're here to change the world, everyone, not just Oprah, not just CVS, not just
Yes.
you're here to change. You wouldn't have been born on this planet in the predicament that you were born in unless you were born to change it. You
Yeah.
weren't born to just, okay, I'm gonna be like my mama, and no. So your purpose is to shift the world into something more beautiful, something that's more you. So if you allow life to just assist you with that, you could be your very own, you could be your very own guru and leader and
Yes.
teacher and friend.
Yes. Amen. You're meant to be your own leader because really that's
Yeah.
to ultimately lead others if that's something you want to do. You have to lead yourself first. And that's
Yeah, of
like
course.
that for yourself. That's the hardest part, right?
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that that's why I'm so proud that you are at that place where you are lovingly speaking to yourself. And I feel like I just got to that place where I'm comfortably allowing myself to be loved by myself, allowing that softer, sweeter voice to speak to me instead of the critic. Um, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. It'll come back to me. I was gonna say
I would like to say this. The fact that you said you're 22,
something. Mm-hmm.
well, your level of awareness and consciousness is amazing. 'Cause at
Yeah.
22, I was not there. Like I'm 40, still your age, okay?
What?
Yeah,
What?
I'm 42.
Oh my gosh! I thought. Stop it.
Yes, it's a
Oh.
it's an Asian thing.
Oh my goodness! I thought you were. I. I can't, I'm leaving this interview now. Bye.
Well, I just really wanted to acknowledge for you that the fact that you have that level of awareness in your 20s is
Hmm.
huge. Like all caps, huge. Okay.
Thank you.
That's like I'm grateful to be in the place where I am spiritually now. I am very, very grateful. But I just feel like the fact that we have this conversation, you're in your 20s, I think that's really tremendous.
Well, thank you. I mean, it took me a long time to be out with the things that I know and just myself. I received your kind words and the compliment, but I'm I'm myself. So like the things that I know, I just I don't feel like I know these things and I'm this person. Like I just have to just be true to myself. And like if I think it and I feel like it's the truth and I have this intuitive feeling, I'm just gonna stand by it. And that's one thing that I want to teach young girls, girls who are my age, don't be afraid to be the guru that you've dreamed of. Like, don't be afraid to wake up one day and be like, wow, wait, I know more than most people. Like, don't be, because I think a lot of people, like, I grew up in the South, so it kind of is against the rules to like know more than your elders and like,
I
you know,
grew
that's,
up too.
oh, really? Wow. Okay. So, it's just like, you just don't do that. You don't know more than them. So it's a lot of like playing small and thinking smaller and just downplaying your shine, you know?
Yes. Oh my God, we could talk for hours on that topic too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's just, I think that a part of my purpose is to let people of all ages, but especially those young girls that like kind of feel beyond their years to confidently be beyond your years. Like, you're allowed to know things.
yes, I agree. I think
Yeah.
sometimes uh, people think like young children, because they're young, they don't know a lot. But I really feel like when you're young, you're just
Yeah.
greater energy. So you have no inhibitions, right?
Right,
So it's just
right,
when we get more life experience, but I think sometimes people get jaded and get more disconnected from this life force that is always around us, right? So
right.
being around kids really, to me, really helps you let go of these like walls that you create and all of these things you're
Yeah.
trying to be. It reminds
Mhm.
you of like children are very truthful, you know?
Yeah, and they're loving. That's the thing. There's no bad child in the world. It's like they're loving. They come straight from source. They're 3 and 5. It's like
Yeah,
3 years on the planet, 5 years on this planet. It takes time to learn how to not love. It takes time to learn how to have a closed heart. That's unnatural. So it's like to disrespect a child's essence of just innocence. It's like, I think we need to get. I like that too. I think we need to value children more.
yes, that innocence. Like innocence is not, people think, oh, you're like naive. And to me, it's like a balance where you have that sense of wonder about life, but you also are aware of your surroundings. You're trusting your gut if you're in a dangerous situation, right? So I think
Right,
the
right.
balance, of having an open heart and then being aware of what's really happening.
Right. Yeah. Fear, the thing is like your intuition will always tell you if you're in danger or not. You
Yeah,
know, fear is the blinder. It's not real. So it's like, you can always rely on your intuition, I feel like, to tell you if you're in a dangerous situation or something that's going to hurt you or something that's going to like help you or heal you, you know?
right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been a wonderful interview. Would you like to
Yes.
share anything about like anything coming up, any special projects or where people
Special projects.
can you?
Well, I think I have some more interviews that I'll put on my Facebook that, people can tune in, but still just like projects developing. I'm working on some stuff for fashion, hopefully moving to New York and living there for a little while and like really getting on, creating my line and doing some creative direction for some other designers. So that would be awesome if that happened, but we're still, I'm in a weird place because it's like the show's still on and it's like you still want to live in this moment and see, what opportunities are out there and stuff. But my blog is up and running. And that's the only thing that's like, out there that people can see
Oh,
me.
what is your
Yeah.
website again?
It's the fashionintuitive.wordpress.com.
Okay.
So yeah, the links will, and also people can friend me. I'm on Instagram, Cree Joy, um, and Twitter, of course, too. And yeah, I'll be dropping gems and wisdom, and if you want anything
Well,
more. So
I feel very grateful that you spent time um, allowing me to interview you. I feel like your presence, your perspective is so needed. Um,
oh, thank you.
see someone, being so young and having
Mhm.
so much ambition, but coming from a very heart-centered spiritual place. I think
Oh, thank
a lot of
you.
women, young women who are very ambitious. I don't see lack of ambition really, but what I see though is the ambition is targeted more towards the material or things, that are not really connected deeply with who they are. It's more about, I just want to achieve this level of success. I want to achieve this income. I want to achieve this type of house. I want to achieve this type of relationship. And that's good, but always like evaluate
Right.
something you really, really want, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like with you, your ambition is coming from a very deeper,
Right.
heart-centered, spiritual place.
Wait, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. It's going in and out. I want to.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. I was just saying that I admire that your ambition, it's coming, it's coming from a very honest, truthful, it's like it's needed. Can you hear me?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I can hear you. It's just kind of like jumping in and out, but I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Well, this is
It's
the
like
end.
it's like a little bit of time delay.
Well, I'll be sure to share your links for your blog. But again, thank you for being here. And for anyone that would like to learn more about Cree, definitely visit her site and be on the watch for her and her fashion designs and just all of her work that she's doing with healing and fashion. It's really um, amazing to see someone, especially at her age, to be really so tapped in and wanting to just do such good with their life. So if you'd like to learn more about me and Dawning Soul, you can visit me at dawningsoul.com. And I look forward to seeing you on the next Inner Beauty Leader interview. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Cree.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for having me.
So welcome. Okay. Bye.
Bye.